Hello and welcome to my NFL early week 13 predictions. Let's get right into it. So, firstly, we have Thursday night football. There's going to be 3 Thursday night football games this week because it's Thanksgiving. So, firstly, we have the Packers and the Lions. I'm going to have the Lions winning it by 3. Um, Frank Ragnow did just retire, so I think that's going to set them back just a little bit. But I still like the Lions as a better team, and I especially like them at home on Thanksgiving, so I'm going to take them by 3. So then we have the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Should be a pretty good matchup. I like the Cowboys this year. They're both actually 6-5 at the moment, but I am going to have the Chiefs winning it. I just trust them a little bit more to get it done, and the Cowboys are also known as in they're better away than they are at home. Um, and it's also Thanksgiving, so I don't know. The Cowboys play every Thanksgiving. It's just a tradition. I know I didn't look up their record. I don't know how good they are in Thanksgiving or not, but I think the Chiefs should handle business here. So then we have the Bengals and the Ravens. This is a great way to end. These aren't the usual Thanksgiving games we see. We'll usually see the Cowboys, the Commanders, the pretty much just the Cowboys, Commanders. Sometimes you'll see teams like the Raiders or the Lions or the Bears or something like that on Thanksgiving. These are 2 new Thanksgiving teams, though, the Bengals and the Ravens, but I'm glad it is because these games are always super entertaining. As you can tell, I have the Ravens winning 37-34. I think that the Ravens defense is pretty good. The Bengals have no defense. Everybody knows that, but I think if for some reason when these two teams play, there's really just no defense on either side. So I think this will be a great game, like it always is. Of the Ravens coming out on top. Then we have the Bears and the Eagles. This is the first time they've played in a while. The last time I can remember them playing was that year in the playoffs. I don't think it was the double doink. I think it was the year after the double doink. But anyway, they played in the playoffs, and that's the last time I remembered it. I'm gonna have the Eagles winning at home though, but I think that both these teams are going to be pretty good this year. As you can see, I have the Bears at 6-5 right now, the Eagles at 8-3. Obviously, the Eagles are the reigning Super Bowl champions. But I think the Bears are going to be pretty good. I think this game could actually go either way. I'm going to trust the Eagles though, partially just because they're at home. Then we have the Cardinals and the Buccaneers. I'll have the Cardinals winning it by 3. I like the Cardinals' defense this year. I think their offense is going to do similar to what they did last year. But if you have a really good defense, if your offense can play mediocre and you'll still win a lot of games. I like the Buccaneers' offense better. I'll admit that. I mean, how could I not? But I think the Buccaneers are a pretty well-rounded team. I just really like that Cardinals defense. I'm really excited to see that. I think that they're going to get the job done here. Then we have the Rams and the Panthers. I'll take the Panthers in an upset here. I think that this is going to be Bryce Young's breakout game. They're kind of struggling right now at 4-8. The Rams are definitely not struggling at 9-2. But I think the Rams are just going to underestimate them. They're going to go in, just expect to pound the ball, and the Panthers. Bryce Young's going to go off. He's going to throw for 4 touchdowns. It's going to be crazy. And the Rams will no longer, well, they actually probably will still be the first seed, but there's going to be a big upset. Then we have the Saints and the Dolphins, a game nobody's excited about. I'll have the Dolphins winning it by 9. I think the Saints will do okay. The Dolphins' defense isn't going to be anything this year, so it's not like they're going to have too hard of a time scoring. I just like the Dolphins' offense a lot better. Then we have the Falcons and the Jets. I'll take the Jets by 3. I can see these teams being similar this year. Nobody really expects the Falcons or Jets to do anything. I guess they kind of expect the Falcons to do something just because they're the division that they're in, which is true. They're 13th, but they also have the same record as the Buccaneers, so really that division can go to anybody. But I like Justin Fields, especially in this game. I think the Falcons are going to have a hard time stopping him and Breece Hall. So, yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning on the Jets. Then we have the 49ers and Browns. I have another upset here. 49ers just keep on losing. Actually, they beat the Panthers last week, but yeah, the 49ers fall off, man. They were 6-0. It was so good, but yeah, I just think injuries are going to take them out. Um, I also, my other reasoning behind this game is that the Browns beat them last year. I think it was last year, it might have been the year before, but the Browns beat them, and the Browns beat them with a worse team than they have right now. So mapping that out in my head, oh yeah, and the 49ers I think were a better team. To be fair, they were injured last year like they all like they always are every year, but at least they still had their starters on defense. Now they traded a bunch of their starters on defense to other teams, so the Browns probably should win this game. Then we have the Jaguars and the Titans. I'll take the Jaguars by 7. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about this game. Both teams probably aren't going to be that good. Jaguars started off the season pretty good, but yeah, um, but I don't expect anything great from either of these teams. Jaguars could be a surprise division winner, though. I'll tell you that much. Then we have the Texans and the Colts. I'll take the Colts by 4. Um, I think the Colts aren't going to be great this year, but I think they'll be mediocre. I think they can win 6 games, and especially if they're at home. And they're at home in this matchup. I think that most of the time I have the divisional teams splitting just because they play each other twice a year. You're kind of bound to win one of them unless you're just so ass. But I don't think the Colts are that ass. I think that they can win this game. Then we have the Vikings and the Seahawks. I'll take the Vikings by 7. I was thinking Sam Darnold revenge game, but then I also thought about how Sam Darnold played against good defenses last year, and the Vikings have the number 2 defense in the league, so that made me change my mind very quickly. I'll have the Vikings getting it done. Also, the NFC is a juggernaut this year. The Vikings are 6-5 and they're 11th. That's kind of crazy. Especially the AFC is going to be a cakewalk because the Raiders are 5-6 right now, and they're 6th. I think that's the next game. Yeah, that's actually the next game. To be fair, they're 6-5, but still, they're 6th. They have the same record as the Vikings, and the Vikings are 11th, and the Raiders are 6th. That's pretty wild. But anyway, I'm gonna have the Chargers winning this. The Chargers were actually the 1 seed in the AFC for a short time period, which is kind of crazy since they're 8th now. Kind of the same thing that happened to the 49ers happening to them. I don't think the Chargers are going to get that injured, though. They really just did fall off. But I'm going to have them bouncing back with this game. They're at home. They should get it done. Then we have the Bills and the Steelers. I'll take the Bills by 2. Aaron Rodgers just signed with the Steelers today. I've been predicting that he would be on the team anyway while doing these predictions. So nothing has really changed. That's why they're 5-6 right now. But they're also playing the Bills. I think it will be closer than a lot of people think it will be, but I'll still have the Bills winning it. Then we have Sunday Night Football, which is the Broncos and the Commanders. I'll take the Broncos by 3. Washington's probably an all-around better team. I like their offense a lot more, but weird things happen. I think the Broncos can get it done. I like their defense better. I think Washington will probably just have an off night. Then we have the Giants and the Patriots. Speaking of off nights, okay, I shouldn't say that. I think the Giants are a lot better than 3-9. Russell Wilson, I think, will be all right. And then even if he's not, Jameis Winston will play. I think this is just going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. The Giants are going to edge it out in the end. Could see it going either way. I don't really have any preferences. I just thought I'd take the upset here. But anyway, those are my Week 13 predictions.